You know what? I call bullshit on the NaMo TV controversy. Bullshit. It erupted 4 days ago, and there were wild accusations floating about how it did not seem to have a broadcasting license, of how it fell out of the purview of the Information and Broadcasting Ministry. Thankfully, there was an article that was recently published on the print, spearheaded by Shekhar Gupta, and it issues some set of clarifications that give us some idea of this whole fiasco. For instance, the first thing it says is that, NaMo TV is purely dedicated to our Prime Minister Narendra Modi. There are no doubts about that. Secondly, there's a strange distinction of it managing to defy the laws set for the information and broadcasting industry. There seems to be a strange collusion between the Information and Broadcasting Ministry and Tata Sky. They've issued a stranger set of clarifications on 3 separate occasions, but the latest one is that it is a special service content channel, so it doesn't really need a license, so to speak. But the strangest clarification is the third one in the article, where there seems to be no paperwork that leads to any evidence of it being owned by the BJP, which is the ruling party. That's right. We don't know who owns NaMo TV. How ridiculous is that? Apparently, it's rented to the BJP, but no one really knows by whom. This is kind of strange and it's really baffling, okay? On one hand, let's face it, NaMo is everywhere, right? There is a movie on him as well. Vivek Oberoi is going to campaign on his behalf. Clearly, it's a propaganda channel, which is not a big problem. There are plenty of precedences where parties have had their own TV channels. One does not have to look any further than down south. Kalamedi Maran owns Sun TV. Jayalalitha formerly owned Jaya TV. I don't know who owns that right now. I'm sure it's AIDMK in some way or the other. So that's not the problem. It's clearly a propaganda tool. And I guess that's fine. As long as there is no violation as far as the EC is concerned, which is really doing its job this season, I must tell you. But not many people know that NaMo TV has been around. It's been around for a while. It was established in 2012 during the assembly elections of Gujarat, where it was again a pure content piece, a pure content platform highlighting the achievements of Narendra Modi. In as late as March 2019, it was called Content TV and it's been rechristened as NaMo TV, right? So, is it a violation of the code of conduct? That's for the EC to decide. Thankfully, the opposition has actually picked up a very strong case about it. I really hope that we see something come out of it. I hope the EC doesn't just sit down with its tail between its legs, because this could be a really serious issue. But that's really not what gets my goat. What gets my goat is the harping of this issue. This jingoistic fervor taken up by the opposition and 24 hours news media will probably play into the hands of the ruling party, and that's my opinion. And I'll tell you why. It's a theory. Over the course of the last 5 years across the world, you can actually see a protectionist wave set in. One does not have to look further than Venezuela, the Trump phenomena in the US, you even have Brexit in Britain, and now you have the Modi wave in India. Major cultures around the world are adopting a protectionist worldview. They're looking to be more ethnocentric, especially in terms of their economic policies. And if you add to this the multicultural globalization aspect, there is a social justice wave also which is thrown into the mix, and it's really creating havoc everywhere. That phenomena has not yet come to India, but it soon will. Why? Because for the sake of TVRs and for the sake of some kind of noise or a mindshare, the opposition and the media continue to harp on NaMo TV. Let me tell you guys, when it comes to people who have adopted this protectionist worldview, who have adopted this ethnocentric way of living, The minute you do not engage them in a healthy debate, but you disparage them in this way, you're only going to see a stronger entrenchment in their beliefs, and they are not going to budge. When it comes to politics and when it comes to Bollywood, there is no such thing as bad publicity. Any kind of press is good press. Watch and see. This is only going to contribute to the wave that is the Modi wave right now in 2019. And it's high time that the opposition and the media get out of their jingoistic fervor and adopt a more nuanced kind of an argument. I hope they focus on the core issues that really need to be focused on in this election. There's plenty of evidence that the economic indicators in 2019 is not very healthy, and they would do well to pick these up instead of harping on NaMo TV and talking about cow vigilantism and so on and so forth. Yeah. So until next time, guys. See ya.